everyone. Welcome to Shalant. It's High Priestess Banahay coming to you with another video. So today we're going to be talking about the 12 apostles plus other apostles, including women apostles. And their short story for them and their sin and struggle. So there's Peter, which is Simon Peter, who denied Jesus 3 times, was hot-tempered and prideful. He was a fisherman who was called to follow Jesus and became the leader of apostles. His reward and outcome was he preached and 3,000 people were saved. He wrote 1st and 2nd Peter and was crucified upside down. James, the son of Zebedee, wanted to call fire on people. Anger, ambition, and pride is what he had. One of Jesus's inner 3, first apostle to be martyred. He was killed by King Herod, and was rewarded with honor as the first martyr apostle. John, which was the son of Zebedee, had ambition, who is the greatest. The beloved disciple wrote John 1-3, Revelations. He was the only apostle not killed, died of old age, and was given revelation. Andrew had doubt, but was feeding of 5,000. He brought his brother Peter to Jesus. He was a missionary to Greece. He was crucifixed on an X-shaped cross. Philip was slow to believe in Jesus' divinity. He brought Nathanael to Jesus and evangelized in Samaria. He died by stoning or crucifixion. Nathanael, had prejudice. Can anything good come from Nazareth? He was honest and faithful. He had a missionary to India or Armenia and was martyred, often believed, flayed alive. He was filleted alive. Matthew, Levi, was a tax collector who was greedy and cheating others. He left wealth instantly to follow Jesus and wrote the Gospel of Matthew. He was martyred. Thomas had doubt. He was famous for asking for proof, later preached fearlessly. He had a missionary to India and speared to death. James was possibly timid or quiet. He was one of the lesser-known apostles. Tradition says he was stoned or clubbed to death. Simon had a violent past of zealots were rebels. Former radical transformed by Jesus was martyred while preaching. Thaddeus, Jude, was confused about Jesus' mission, preached widely and wrote Jude, and was killed for the gospel. Judas had greed and betrayal. He handled the money bag, and he betrayed Judas. He committed suicide and was replaced by Matthias. Other male disciples who were powerful but not the 12 was Paul, who was murdered. He murdered Christians. He encountered Jesus on Damascus and wrote 13 books and was excluded in Rome. Barnabas, who had a conflict with Paul, was an encourager who helped an early church, had missionary. He died peacefully or was martyred. Then Stephen, he didn't really have a recorded struggle. First Christian martyr. And he was stoned. And he saw Jesus standing in heaven. Female disciples of Jesus, the women. The Bible was clear. Women followed Jesus, supported him, ministered to him, were the first to witness his resurrection. Mary Magdalene, previously possessed by 7 demons, delivered by Jesus, stayed with him at the cross. was the first to see Jesus resurrected. Mary, mother of Jesus, had fear and grief, chose to carry Jesus, and was present at the Pentecost. She was honored above all women. Mary Martha had worry, anxiety, and frustration. She was the sister of Mary and confessed Jesus as Messiah. Jesus loved her deeply and witnessed Lazarus' resurrection. Mary of Bethany, she didn't really have a struggle that was recorded. She sat at the feet of Jesus and anointed Jesus with perfume. Some say that was Mary Magdalene. And Jesus said her act would be remembered forever. Joanna, no struggles recorded, was a wife of a royal official, financially supported Jesus, and was one of the first women at the empty tomb. Salome had ambition and wanted her sons exalted. Mother of James and John, followed Jesus and witnessed the crucifixion and resurrection. Susanna supported Jesus' ministry financially and was honored as a faithful disciple. The woman at the well had adultery and broken relationships. She met Jesus, became an evangelist to Samaria, and the entire town believed because of her. The sinful woman in Luke 7 had sexual sin. She washed the feet of Jesus with her tears and was forgiven. Jesus honored her with love and forgiveness. Every man and woman that Jesus called had sin, had flaw, weakness, and failure. But the outcome for most all was forgiveness, restoration, being recommissioned, and power rewarded eternally. The Bible proves something powerful, that God doesn't choose the perfect. He perfects the ones that he chooses. So what would your short story be? What would your sins be? And what would your rewards look like? I'm curious to know. You guys can comment that, or post a video and send it to me, whatever you feel. But that's definitely something that I would definitely be interested in. As for me, there was a time, we all have sinned, and for me, there's quite a few things that I did wrong, right? With adultery and lying and just different things like that, that had my walk of life pretty hard, right? I didn't doubt God ever, nor was I ever angry with God. I did choose to look at different religions and seek spiritual truth, right? Worshiping in spirit and truth. So went to many different churches, sought many different religions, sought forgiveness, and preached and taught, worked at church camps and did mission trips, and had my spiritual business, She Joy, for like 7 to 10 years, and worked really hard on that, which ultimately led me to Shallant. And so that's how we got here. But that being said, you guys, that's my quick story. For those of you who want to know in depth and detail, I don't mind going into the truths of that, but for the sake of this video, that'll be good. Okay, that being said, thank you so much for watching. Stay blessed, never stressed, with much peace, much power, much love, much light, and much joy. See you guys next time.